In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, and may peace and blessings be upon the Messenger of Allah. This course is Specialized Translation, Legal, and Security. Here we have the objectives of this presentation. We will define legal translation, identify types of legal texts, types of legal language, main characteristics of legal texts, and finally we will discuss difficulties of legal translation. First, we will define legal translation. What is legal translation? Legal translation is the translation of text within the field of law. It is culture-dependent subject field. This is what makes legal translation different from other types of translations. Therefore, the legal system of the source text will be different from the legal system of the target text. In legal translation, we have authentic legal translation and convenience legal translation. Conflicts over the legal impact of a translation can be avoided by indicating that the text is authentic, which means it is legally operative on its own terms, or it is convenience, which means that the text itself is not legally operative. Most legal writings are formal in style, exact in meaning, and technical in vocabulary. Here we have types of legal text. We have different types of legal text, but we have here the main 5 types. The first type is identity documentation. The second is precedents and legal rulings. The third is witness statements. The fourth is litigation papers. And 5 is financial documents. Examples is to translate bank reports and translate regulations. Types of legal language. We have 4 types of legal language. The first type is academic legal language, example legal textbooks. The second type is juridical legal language, example is court judicial judgments. The third type is legislative language, example is translating contracts. And finally, the language of law, for example, the language of defense. Here we have the main characteristics of legal text. Number 1, capital letters. A translator may capitalize important words, terms, and names. For example, this contract is made and entered by and between Mr. here and after referred to as the employer and Mr. here and after referred to as the employee. In this example, we have the capitalization of the phrase this contract because it is the introductory phrase of the document. Also, we capitalize the titles Mr. and Mr. and the important 2 words employer, capitalizing the E in employer and in employee. Another example is the 2 parties here to agree to, or both parties here to agree to. Parties is an important word in the document or in the legal document, so a translator can capitalize the first letter in parties, which is P. The second characteristic is to use synonyms. We mean by synonyms is to use two words that are similar in meaning. For example, the terms and conditions, الشروط والأحكام. Another example, made and entered. In the sentence, this contract is made and entered. حرر وأبرم. Another example, null and void. This contract shall be null and void. لاغيا وباطلا. So, examples of the use of synonyms, terms and conditions in Arabic, الشروط والأحكام. Even in Arabic we are using synonyms. Another example, made and entered, حرر وأبرم. Null and void, لاغيا وباطلا. A synonym may have one target equivalence, so may have two English words which cannot be translated in Arabic with two synonyms or two synonymous words. But we can use only one, for example, every and each. Every, كل, each, كل. So we can say كل وكل. In this case we can use كل, one word, to as an equivalent to the phrase every and each. The third characteristic is the use of nouns instead of pronouns. So a translator has to avoid anaphoric devices, pronouns, to avoid ambiguity. Therefore, the translator should use nouns. Example, the lessee shall pay to the lessor at his office of the lessor. So, his, this anaphoric device, does it refer to the lessor or to the lessee? In Arabic, يدفع المستأجر إلى المؤجر في مكتبه. مكتب من؟ هل هو مكتب المستأجر أو مكتب المؤجر؟ So, in legal translation, the text should be clear. So you have, or the translator should avoid using pronouns, and he or she has to use nouns. So the sentence will be, the lessee shall pay to the lessor at the office of the lessor. And now the meaning is clear. The fourth characteristic is the use of specific words. Example, the use of shall and may. Shall can be translated as فعل مضارع. Example, the appointment shall commence from the date of signing this contract. In translating this sentence, we have to start with a verb. يبدأ التعيين من تاريخ توقيع هذا العقد. So, shall commence is translated into Arabic as يبدأ. May وتعني الجواز يجوز. Either party may terminate this agreement. In the translation, يجوز لأي من الطرفين إنهاء أو فسخ. So you have to use one of these two equivalents, هذه الاتفاقية. So, shall will be translated as a present verb. May will be translated as يجوز. Fourth, the use of specific words. Example, the use of archaic words. العبارات أو الكلمات المهجورة. Example, to use where, there, here plus preposition. And these phrases تعود على الاتفاقية أو العقد. Example, the two parties here to agree as follows. اتفق طرفي هذه الاتفاقية على ما يلي. The worker hereby acknowledges that. يقر العامل بموجب هذه الاتفاقية على. So the use of here, there, and here plus preposition to refer to the present document. witnessed as follows. This is another example. In Arabic تقرر ما يلي. C. The use of borrowed words from other languages. Example, borrowed words from Latin or borrowed word from French. Example, contract, عقد, proposal, عرض أو مقترح, policy, and it can be translated as بوليصة if the text is insurance في التأمين, سياسة في الشركات. And finally, terms from other fields, especially arts. Penalty in legal texts is translated as جزاء, defendant as مدعى عليه. And these two words are used in sport. Penalty to mean ضربة جزاء and defendant المدافع. So in legal translation there are some terms are borrowed from other fields. Features of legal language. Legal language should be specific, accurate, clear, formal, and technical. Difficulties of legal translation. Because legal translation is a culture-dependent field, so using content and terms within the legal system in the country where the source document originated makes legal translation very complex. Example, the term appellant can be translated مستأنف in Saudi Arabia, but it will be translated as طاعن in Kuwait. So, as we have said, the legal system of the source text will be different from the legal system of the target text, and the legal translation is different from, or the legal terms may be different from one country into another. And here we have a clear example. The second point is that the legal language is very high degree of accuracy. This means that performing the task of translation by a translator who has a legal background. So legal text is better to be translated by a legal translator. Conceptual equivalence. Legal expressions in the source language may have or may not have specific equivalent in the target language, because, as we have said, legal systems are different among cultures. In such cases, conceptual equivalents are used. And here we have the references. The first reference, Legal Translation by Dr. Abdelhamid Alewa. The second reference is a primer of legal translation by Abul Fadl. Thank you very much.